I'm here to talk today about the plantar fascia of the foot. Specifically, when it is inflamed, it's considered for you to have plantar fasciitis, which I'm sure a lot of you have heard of and probably, unfortunately, experienced. So, I've got a few things with us today. I'm going to show you how to use to help treat this. If you have any type of heel pain, arch pain, foot pain in general, all of these things are helpful. Not every foot condition obviously is plantar fasciitis, but I'll show you a few hallmark signs that maybe indicate that it is, and how to treat those. So we're going to talk about ice pack. I have a little foot massage ball. If you can see this, it has little nubs on it. It's pretty small. It's probably 2.5 inches in diameter there, so this is a good size to use. And also a yoga strap, something that doesn't give. You don't want to use TheraBand because it stretches. So I use a yoga strap to stretch with. You could use a regular belt, a ratchet strap out of the garage, a towel, a long sheet. Again, something that's not elastic. I don't want it to give. So you have a little bit of leverage, okay? So I'm going to show you how to use those things for foot pain, specifically plantar fasciitis. So relatively inexpensive things. If you don't want to go out and buy a little foot massaging ball, a golf ball, tennis ball, something to provide a little bit of pressure. We're not going to really grind away really hard at the tissue. So those other things would work as well if you don't want to go invest any money. If you don't want to buy an ice pack, frozen peas or frozen corn work well. They're relatively inexpensive. You can use ice cubes. Sometimes they can be a little pokey, for lack of a better term. So the gel or corn or peas tend to work well. I have one just with little gel beads. And then these stay cold roughly 15, maybe 20 minutes. So it's a good way not to give yourself frostbite because they don't stay cold very long. First things first, footwear. I'm going to take my shoe off. I have an athletic shoe on at the moment. A lot of people, if you notice, I have hardwood floors. So walking barefoot when you have foot or heel problems is a big no-no, okay? You want to have some type of slipper, shoe, something. And if you're in an acute phase of plantar fasciitis, meaning it's actually currently bothering you, don't get up first thing in the morning until you have some type of support, because then you're asking the plantar surface of your foot to go from 5, 6, 7, 8 hours of being off of it to all of a sudden having to support all of your body weight. And if it's already inflamed, it's not going to be happy about it, okay? So keep something by your bed, house shoes or something. So when you get up in the morning, you immediately slip your foot into some type of footwear. Don't put it down and stand up first. Immediately slip it into something that's going to help absorb that force across the tissue. That will help. So that's sort of step one. Have some type of footwear right by your bed or wherever you sleep, and step right into it in the morning. And try to avoid socked foot or barefoot walking, especially on hard floors in your home. Okay? So that's footwear. So plantar fascia is the fascia that fans across the bottom of your foot, running from your heel, your calcaneus, up to your metatarsal heads, or what some people consider the ball of your foot. Okay? So it kind of fans out over that area, and it's important for shock absorption and really supporting the arch of our foot. So pretty common to get that irritated. So again, step one, wearing footwear. Step two, stretching. You want to stretch the foot. I'm going to take my other shoe off so you guys can see my foot that's closest to the camera. Don't ever stretch cold in the morning, like right when you get up, because again, that can be too much pressure across the tissue. So after you've been up and moving some throughout the day, and especially at the end of the day, stretching is really important. Now there's several things you can do to stretch. I'm going to show you kind of one with the strap today. We may go over another day, some other stretches to do for the foot, but there's not really one magic movement. It's just consistency of doing these things. So, again, we've worn footwear, we've helped disperse force across the tissue throughout the day. Before we stretch with our strap, I'm going to grab my little foot massage ball or golf ball, tennis ball, whatever you have. So my left heel has actually been bothering me. So I'm going to show you my left foot. So you're literally just going to put this ball on the ground, okay, and put the sore spot over it. And then you're just going to roll. Now, note, I'm doing this sitting down, okay? We don't want to be full weight bearing on the ball. That's too much pinpointed pressure on the tissue. I'm just going to easily kind of roll forward and backwards. It may slip around and you may need to adjust your position. You can kind of do little circles. I kind of like to get right back on my heel, right back in this area where that tissue originates, and kind of apply a little bit of pressure there. Again, I'm not standing up. I'm not fully putting my weight down. I'm just kind of going back and forth in little circles, and I feel some crunch in there. My heel's not real happy. I doubt you can hear that, but I get a good occasional sound with that. Okay, so to start with, I would set a timer for maybe 2 minutes, and just work out those areas. You know, work back and forth across the length of the tissue, and then stop in those kind of sticky points where you're a little sore and kind of focus on kind of isolating those areas. You can also just let that sit for a little bit of a trigger point release. And again, we're not trying to kill it. We're not trying to work all the fibrotic bad tissue out in one sitting. Okay, it's probably going to take a while, but just gentle to moderate pressure is what that tissue is going to respond best to when you're treating it yourself. So again, around 2 minutes on that, okay? That's a nice massage ball. And then we have yoga strap. You can do all kinds of good stuff with this, but we're going to stretch our calf muscle, okay? Calf muscle, bottom of your lower leg, consists of your gastric medius muscle and your soleus muscle. The tendons of those muscles form your Achilles tendon, which comes down and attaches at the base of your heel. So we want to make sure these muscles are nice and supple and flexible, and they're not causing any undue pull across our heel, okay? You can do this in your barefoot or with a shoe on. You want to take your strap around the ball of your foot, which is right below your toes, and you're just going to pull. We're not going to crank as hard as we can and really pull. Again, a gentle to moderate pull. Now, my knee extends fairly well, so my foot pops up. That's not necessarily the goal. That's just my mobility. So don't expect that you have to really kind of crank your leg up, okay? I just leave the length of my leg supported. You can do this on the floor. Obviously, on the weight bench, I'm choosing to do it on here. You can do it across the bed, off the couch, anything. You do want your knee straight. With stretching, to get a nice lasting hold across that tissue, we want to hold 30 seconds, which is a lot longer than you think. Once you've been holding 30 seconds, which I have to admit I wasn't timing my stretch, but that's probably close to it since I've been a little chatty. We're going to let off. We're going to do another one for 30 seconds. And you should never really get pain with this. A firm stretch. If you have a lot of ankle mobility, you may not feel a lot of stretch here. And again, the goal is not to recreate your pain necessarily. If you are, I would let off of it a little bit, okay? Meaning don't pull quite so much, okay? You just want a nice sustained stretch across that tissue. And that is roughly 30 seconds. Okay? So we want to do between 2 and 4 repetitions of that. 30 seconds for each one. Okay? That gives a nice, long, sustained stretch across the tissue, which is what we're looking for. Okay? Finally, talk about ice, okay? Never put ice directly on your skin. It might feel good initially, but you get yourself in trouble and give yourself a little bit of frostbite. So, ice, gel, okay? You can put it right on the bottom of the foot, and you want to hold that again for about 15 to 20 minutes. I don't have an ACE wrap with me at the moment, but you could wrap an ACE wrap loosely around to hold that on if you wish. And again, we're just icing to calm down inflammation at the end of the day, after we exercise, help calm that tissue back down, okay? I would do this daily if you're having issues with your foot. And that should help out that heel pain, okay? So, leave any comments, questions below, any other topics you want me to cover, shoot me a comment. I'd be happy to answer any questions or talk about any type of injuries or preventatives that you guys are interested in. So, have a great rest of the day. Thanks.